Hey guys! Little different location for today. It is so cozy wozy. It's been raining outside all day long. It is September. The seasons are changing and I am just one happy gal. September is one of my favorite months of the whole entire year. I just love autumn. I just feel like it's back to school season. It's a very symbolic time. Just getting back into the grind, shedding a layer of skin that no longer serves you. I always feel like September's kind of like New Year's for me. It's like chapter's closed, summer's over, and you kind of like bloom into a new version of yourself. Something that I am choosing to kind of let go and let stay in August. I am choosing to kind of let go of attachment to certain things. I'm not gonna lie to you, I can sometimes be a bit of a stalker, and sometimes I stalk, you know, guys that I've had situationships with. I hate that word so much. And I'll stalk like their new girlfriends, or like the girlfriends they're following, or like the exes, or even sometimes their mums. And I just go on a whole little rampage, and it just doesn't serve me. It's like, it's really a waste of time. So September, like, it's not happening. Like, I've deleted my burner account. No more stalking, no more digging, no more looking for things, because all it does is disrupt my peace. And you go through a breakup, I'm like, when I went through the big breakup in my life with my ex-boyfriend, like, I muted all his friends. I muted anything to do with him. I, like, you know, obviously changed my wallpaper, like any triggers. Like, I tried to avoid the triggers as much as possible. And I used to be like really good at kind of like protecting my peace, but now it's like I love the chaos and it doesn't serve me. Like, it's really stupid. So I've given up stalking. Stalking is no longer happening because it does trigger me and it does disturb my peace, and I just want to let go of any of that kind of attachment because it's such a waste of time. And one thing that really made me realize is, like, we're so capable of creating stories in our heads. It's kind of, and creating stories and running with the narratives, and it's kind of absurd, especially when it comes to the internet, because when I was in Turkey, I went to a Galatasaray football game, okay, and nice seats, and we had these custom jerseys and all that kind of stuff. And then, like, all these Turkish girls in my comments started saying how I'm dating this football player and blah blah blah. And then, like, as one started, the next one joined in, and then they were like, yeah, of course she is, because she did da 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 da. And I was like, oh my god, it's kind of crazy how you can create these scenarios in your head. And that's how rumors spread, and rumors start from nothing. And I feel like with my stalking, I do that. You know what I mean? I create scenarios in my head and I think they're true. And I'm just like, the whole thing is a bunch of bollocks and we've gotta let it go. So, giving up stalking. I'm no longer Amara Riva the stalker. I'm Amara Riva the podcaster. So that's one of my things that I'm letting go in August. Remember, I have a lot of exciting things coming up and a lot of opportunities, and I just want to say yes to everything. I feel like I'm in that period of my life right now where I need to just like put my feet in as many pots as I can, because ultimately the busier I am, the less time I'll have to stalk. So it kind of works hand in hand. Realize as well, this is kind of embarrassing, but my mics are not working, and so I've just been holding them in front of my face, thinking that they're working, but they're not working. Anyways, today I kind of wanted to talk about dating, because I love talking about dating. I love talking about boys. One of my favorite topics, and honestly, I was having this conversation with my best friend Moza yesterday. I've encountered the weirdest men ever. Like, the things that have happened to me, or guys have said to me, I honestly could make a book titled Weird Things Guys Have Done to Me, because the list is like up to here. And I was just thinking to myself, why do I attract these weirdos? And what is it about men? Why are they so weird? Honestly, I'm not trying to man hate, because if you know me, I love men, okay? But you guys can be a little strange sometimes, and I'm under the impression that men are actually not as simple as they claim to be, okay? It's always like girls are so complicated and guys are simple. No, girls are emotional, i.e. deemed dramatic, because we're emotional, even though it's just we express our emotions. Whereas guys, I think, are a lot more complicado, because they have a much harder time expressing their emotions. So even though on the surface they're cool, calm, and collected, under the surface there's a bunch of layers of what the fuck is going on that's there, you know? And so I actually think guys are a bit more complicated and harder to understand. So yeah, I don't know what your guys' thoughts are on that. I'm sure there might be one or two guys listening to this that are gonna come at me with some truths, and I would love to hear it, because I am open for discussion on that. But anyways, yeah, I've encountered a lot of strange guys, and I have gone on a lot of first dates. At one point I was honestly calling myself the one date wonder, because it was one date and done. One and done, going back for a second date, okay? And I think there's some do's and don'ts of dating that I want to share with you guys. So let's get into it. Okay, so dating rule number one, and this was probably the best piece of dating advice that I've ever heard, is as soon as you see the person, forget about what you look like. I used to be the girl that was on a date and I'd be consistently touching my hair. I'd go to the bathroom once or twice to like powder my face and like redo my lip liner, and make sure I'm sitting up straight and like my boobs are sitting nice, and like I was always preoccupied with how I look. Do I have something in my teeth? Blah, 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 blah. And when you're doing that, you cannot shine. As soon as you are on that date, forget about what you look like and be your funniest, most talkative, charismatic, and present self. Emphasis on present, because there is nothing worse than going on a date and the person you're with is on their phone the whole time. Like, honestly, I find that so rude. I hate it when guys pick up calls whilst we're at dinner too. I mean, if you're gonna pick up the call, I don't mind it, like, especially if it's to do with work, I don't mind. But as long as you're like, sorry, I have to get this. Sometimes I've been on dates and I'll be speaking and the guy will get a call and he'll literally just pick up his phone and go on the phone. And I'm like, so yeah, just forget about what you look like and be your most funny, silly, goofy self. And like, luckily for these guys, that means that I basically carry the whole date on my back, because I have a lot to say and I have a lot of jokes. So usually how my dates go is I speak for the most part and the guys just sit there, smile, and flirt with me. Saying that, I have had some dates where the guys just love to speak about themselves, and I genuinely think most guys love to speak about themselves, and I don't mind it because I love listening just as much as I love talking. But I have been on a couple of dates where the guy, like, I will ask him a question, he will just speak, and there will be no reciprocation. So I think my second tip is always, like, initiate conversation in the sense of, if he asks you a question, and what about you? Well, what do you think about that? What do you think about that? You know, like, make him feel important and that you're interested in what he has to say. Same with the guy towards a girl. Saying that though, a real green flag is when you can get to the point with a person where you can be silent and you don't have to speak. That's like one of my favorite benchmarks that you can get to when you're building a relationship with a person, when you can just coexist. It's amazing. Like, that is so good. About what you look like, and second, make sure that you are really engaging in conversation. Number 3, and this is really important because I've had periods of my life where I've been super unconfident and I have fluctuated with my weight. I have had cystic acne and blah. So I have really learned how to dress well for my body type, how if I have a pimple, I cover it up well. But I really think it's so important to wear something you feel super confident in, and do not be over the top. Because the thing about being over the top and like setting the benchmark here is, like, if by the third date you just want to chill out a little bit, you're gonna look like this. You know what I mean? You kind of want to get hotter and hotter every time you see the guy. So never do too much on a first date. Never like get your bestest outfit and your hair and your nails and da 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 da. Just be cool, classy, and confident. And you don't need to do too much, because you don't need to like set the bar too high for yourself. You can kind of like work up to that, and then it is so nice when every time the guy sees you, he's like, you look so good. It's like very, very important when it comes to dating and feeling confident, because when you feel confident, you look good and you just walk better. I want to get your guys' opinion on this, because I personally really don't like walking into a place by myself, so I always appreciate it so much when the guy picks me up and like obviously drops me home. I think that's like the most gentleman thing to do. Like definitely the dropping home. For sure the picking up I really appreciate, because I think it's a nice like little intro to the date. However, sometimes it can be a little awkward, and I'd love to get your girlies' opinions on this. Like, do you prefer if a guy picks you up? Do you prefer to meet him at the dinner place? Because I don't know, like I've had instances where it's been kind of awkward and you're kind of like sitting facing each other, a little awkward, and then I had instances where I'm like, what a cutesy patootsy, like this is so charming and gentlemanly, you know, and you have a nice little intro and you guys pull up to the restaurant together looking like a sexy couple. So I don't know. I do think it's nice for the guy to be an uber gentleman and to pick the girl up, but I can understand how sometimes it can be a bit awkward, and I've definitely had instances where the picking up and the dropping home have been pretty awkward, especially when the dropping home consists of the guy trying to get in the house with me, and I have to be like, it's not happening tonight. I'm sorry, buddy. Sometimes I've had to shoo them off, and that is really awkward and uncomfortable. So just make sure the guy is dropping you off to be a gentleman, not dropping you off to get in those panties. Now some red flags, because I've definitely noticed some red flags when I've been dating these guys, but I'm actually going to give you guys a story time. And this guy I didn't even end up going on a date with, because my gut was telling me, stay away, okay? So he wanted to go for dinner at 7 p.m. on a Friday night, which I thought was super, super early. And I was like, okay, that's a bit weird, but whatever. Maybe he has like an early start the next day. I didn't think too much of it. But then Friday morning came and I had this gut feeling like, just do not go on this date. No matter what you do, like this guy just isn't it. And initially I thought this guy might be it because he was a little older. He was like in his early 30s. And on Friday morning, I come up with a little excuse. I'm just like, listen, something's happened at work. I'm going to be working quite late tonight. So I'm really sorry, but I'm going to have to pass on tonight. I don't even think I tried to reschedule because I just knew I wasn't going to waste his time even more. So I just canceled, okay? I think I ended up going out with some friends that night. Anyways, I just wanted to be with my safe people. But it was 9 p.m. and I noticed he had added me to his close friend's story, okay? So he had taken the time to add me on his close friend's story just for me to see that he was already at a bar, like Scotch or something like that. He had his own table. I swear to you guys, there were 8 half-naked women around his table. And he pans the phone around on these women with their tits and their ass out, okay, looking great, gorgeous women. He pans it around and then he pans on the table and there's just like so much alcohol. And I was just like, that's why he wanted to have this early dinner on a Friday night, because he had plans at 9, plans including 8 half-naked girlies. Just my little dating story. And honestly, if you guys want some more dating stories, I'd be happy to do that, but I do feel kind of bad because a lot of them are still my friends, so I don't want to expose my friends like that. This guy, I have nothing to do with him, so I don't feel so bad about sharing this story. So anyways, that's that. I will see you guys back in London town, back in my bed. I miss my bed. Hope you guys enjoyed my little dating 101. Let me know if you want some more dating or some more story times. I will see you guys in my next video.